Greetings and salutations, sports fans. It's Todd Edwards coming to you live tonight from downtown York at the Gift Horse Brewing Company. How about that? Say that a couple of times. Gift Horse Brewing Company tonight has us here.
Live on location. So the mic wasn't on? Live on location. Thank you. Live on location, downtown York.
Is this on?
I know, right? Talk on yours once.
Can you hear me?
Check. Better?
Greetings and salutations, sports fans. It's Todd Edwards coming to you live tonight from downtown York, Pennsylvania at the Gift Horse Brewing Company right here in 117 North George Street as we bring the show on the road. And I have a special panel before you tonight. To my left, you're right on the TV screen, Dude Jones, Coach James Way, and Cisco Soto are all here, and we're ready to talk a little high school football. How about it, gentlemen?
Absolutely. We're live on location in downtown York. Anything can happen. It's a live event. Very excited to be down here tonight. It's a nice crowd here tonight that gathered as well. You're going to see some more people come to the event tonight. We have some YIAA basketball and football players that showed up, and they're going to continue to trickle in. Big shout out to the Gift Horse Brewing Company, and we also have Coach James Way with us tonight, and also Cisco Soto with us as well. So we'll give you guys a quick intro and give it a little background, Coach, while you're on the panel, because you're a football expert. So that's the reason why we have you up here.
I'm Coach James Way. I'm the chairman and owner of BTS Sports. We specialize in training youth football players. Also, a little bit about my coaching background. I was a former coach at Cheney University, PSAC Conference. I coached at Cap Academy, junior college out of New Jersey. A few years ago, I coached a few seasons at William Penn Senior High, and in 2020, I was the defensive back and wide receiver coach at West York.
A little bit everywhere, man. You're making your rounds.
Yeah, I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to get around. I'm definitely trying to get out there.
Absolutely. Check them out on Facebook. You want to give a link on your Facebook, your Instagram contact?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook and on Instagram at just my name, James E. Wade II. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook at BTS Sports and also on Instagram at BTS Sports.
And this is a guy that's normally behind the mic or behind the camera tonight, but he's in front of it tonight.
This isn't how I usually spend my Thursday evenings, but this is going to be.
You wouldn't want to spend it anywhere else, would you?
No,
Mr.
absolutely not. Absolutely
Soto.
not. So, as they already gave me a little quick introduction, my name is Cisco Soto, part owner of Washington Winona Images, and I love York sports. Doing professional photography for the past 4 years. We cover a lot of local sports in the area. I love York sports as a centralized hub for all the city and county news, anything sports related in the area.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it, Todd. There's a big games this week with District 3 football in the YIAA. There's 4 teams representing the YIAA, and right there at the top is York High versus Central York. Then you have Dover versus
Dover travels to Exeter Township, and some of our viewers that are tuned in may remember Exeter Township. They're undefeated, and they have a player by the name of Joey Schlafler that will be going to Penn State starting in January. 6'6" tight end. They line him up, by the way, at quarterback as some wildcat formations.
Yeah.
I've seen him play. What an athlete. Dover will have their hands full. The Battle of the Eagles. Both teams' monikers are the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. And Exeter is undefeated. They're 10-0, number 1 in their division. They're a very tough team. Even on the basketball side, they're always a tough team to go against. So, Dover has a lot on their plate to get against Exeter.
Coach, your insight on that game with Dover and Exeter.
Looking
Township.
at Dover, man, on the defensive side, I like some of the Dover players. They have Hake, who leads them with 7 sacks, and Ford has 4 interceptions for Dover. And they have a lot of playmakers on the offensive side, mainly being led by Mullins, who's averaging 119 yards per game, and he has 13 total touchdowns, as well as Smizer, who's averaging 94 yards receiving. So, I mean, I'm sure Exeter has talent, but Dover's going to bring a lot to the table on both sides of the ball, on offense and on defense.
Absolutely. We were actually at the Dover game last week. Me and Cisco, I Love York Sports. We had a partnership last week and went to Dover and watched that game. They did a great job in the first half of really putting up some big-time offense, and the second half was all about defense. Dover really put it on them, and I think they have a chance to beat Exeter. Any given Friday, any team can come out with a victory. What are your thoughts about Dover going against Exeter?
From what we saw last week, they did put up a lot of points in the first half, and really struggled. But I mean, they were going back and forth between them and Garden Spot to hold them down. The second half was all about defense. Was able to shut them down. I believe they got a late touchdown, and so really got to start the game out on the defensive end and make sure they don't get a lot of points ran up on them fast.
Yeah, watching Dover, I was really impressed with Eric Campbell,
Yes,
quarterback.
the
Junior quarterback did a lot with his legs, had a big time arm, really composed in the pocket, and also Thomas Smizer, who also made our breakout players. Breakout star list this year with Thomas Smizer. Did a great job on the offensive side and defensive side. Laid some big-time hits in that Dover game. So keep an eye out for Dover because they do have a fighting chance against the undefeated Exeter Eagles.
Also, another action taking place this Friday night, York Suburban at Mannheim Central. And Mannheim Central always seems to be a perennial powerhouse. They're back in it hosting York Suburban Trojans. And who picked up their first, district win in 36 years?
That was a historical win for the Trojans, for York Suburban, led by Mikey Benavega. He had 6 touchdowns last game, and he was just running wild. I mean, he's a senior, but he's been doing this for York Suburban for the last 4 years, and he's really the workhorse for that ball club.
I got a chance to check out a few York Suburban games this year, and Benavega is definitely worth the price of admission. I mean, he's averaging 205 yards a game.
Wow.
He's helping in the passing game. He's averaging almost 40 yards receiving, and he has a whopping 37 total touchdowns. I mean, he's just a touchdown machine. There's not much you can really say about that. I mean, York Suburban is young, they're talented, but he's definitely the leader.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, our season-long sponsor S3 Performance Training, they work with Mikey Benavega throughout the last couple years, and they're constantly posting and supporting what he does on the football field. But one thing about Mikey that makes him a little bit different than a lot of other guys coming up is that he does it year-round. He lifts, he trains year-round, so he's getting his just deserves for York Suburban, and we hope he goes out on a good note as he's leading his team into another district game. Tomorrow.
Yeah, weather permitting, and we'll touch on that, gentlemen. What do you think? There's some heavy rain forecasted for tomorrow. Do you believe these games will be played tomorrow, or could they possibly be moved to Friday? Cisco, what say you?
We were out here last year with York High versus Suburban in the monsoon game last year, and I think we made it all the way through 3 quarters. Was completely soaked. I think didn't dry out for about 2 days, but I mean, unless there's lightning, we usually know that the games usually will still go on.
Absolutely. We filmed a couple games in pretty much a monsoon when it comes to York High.
Not too far from here, down there at the historic Smalls Athletic Field.
Right down the road.
And we've been out in the elements. Last year for that rain game between York High and Central, we were in the broadcast booth.
Yes.
Hopefully, if it does rain, we'll be in there this year. Otherwise, we could get slightly wet tomorrow.
From what I heard, rain, sleet, snow, or shine, they're going to play that game tomorrow over at Central York and York High because it's during districts. It's really hard to push back any games during the playoff season. With these kids, we always say they're student athletes. So, the books and, homework and school comes first. So, I know it's really hard to push those games back. So it may be postponed a day, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be going tomorrow.
And the weather looks nice for Saturday. I'm just saying, I mean, if District 3 officials are maybe watching and just thinking about it. But with that being said, another big matchup, the Northern York Polar Bears travel to the New Oxford Colonials. New Oxford had a first-round bye.
New Oxford had a first-round bye. I mean, I believe all the 5A teams.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them had a first-round bye, but New Oxford's a tough team. They were listed at number 3 on our power rankings as far as teams in the YIAA. They came out of nowhere, really, New Oxford. I mean, they have a really good ball club at the 9th grade level. Their freshmen also had an undefeated season, went 9-0, beat teams like Central York and Southwestern, and they have a really good ball club over at New Oxford. Kind of snuck up on people, but they have 15 players that made the all-star team.
That's
So, you know,
impressive.
that just shows you there's a lot of talent over at the New Oxford side. So big shout out to New Oxford and our fans at Adams County.
And I guess that leads up to the main event for us anyway, the big matchup tomorrow featuring York High at Central York. I know, gentlemen, each and every one of you are looking forward to this matchup. Coach, some big keys that you see to this game tomorrow between the two teams, the Panthers and Bearcats.
I got to witness the first York High Central game, and we saw it live. And, you know, the Central's quarterback didn't play in the first game, and they came out and they went to a run-heavy package. So I think for York High, over the last 2 weeks, working on their run fits, making sure they can stop that run play, just in case Central tries to use that same scheme again in the districts. But on the offensive side, I mean, we all know Jaheim White, Florida, is Mr. Do-It-All for York High. Sam is having an amazing season as always, but they have a few young players in David Ward at wide receiver that stepped up this season.
First team player.
Yeah. And I'm a fan of big running backs, so I like Montrez Jackson at running back. He runs hard, and
Absolutely.
I think if they're utilized the right way, York High could walk away with the win at Central. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, especially with the last win. I'm sorry, the last game was 2 weeks ago. It was only a 5-point win for Central York. It was very close, went down to the wire, so that could be anybody's game. In a rivalry game, any team can win.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Cisco, you cover a lot of York High games. You know their strengths and weaknesses. What do you think coming into this game that York High needs to adjust, or how they can, or with some keys to winning?
Keys to victory this week obviously is going to have to be the defense. Coach obviously kind of broke the offense down in the way that they were playing, but if anybody watched the game 2 weeks ago, they saw first play of the game, Central was able to run it down the field. York High's got to get a stop, has to get stops on the ball. And can't let them run all over the field. As you brought in that the quarterback will be back, we don't know if that's going to add a lot of different offensive adjustments for them, but we'll see if that makes a difference.
Absolutely. I believe the first game, it was the score was 43-38, and that's not a very big defensive game. So I think this game coming in, they got to get the defense has to get the offense back on the field. Third downs are going to be very crucial in this type of game, because I think the first game was only 4 punts.
Yeah,
I think in the entire game, and that didn't come to the second half.
I mean, on the York High side, they have some young players that I think is going to need to have a big game for them on the defensive side. They have Amani Bones, who's a freshman, playing middle linebacker. Then they have Carmelo McKenzie and Azir Upton, who are both will be returning next year on the defensive side. And they're young players, and sometimes in big games you get the jitters, you have things like that. But now that you've played Central once already, it's showtime. They got to come out and be ready to perform tomorrow night.
Absolutely, and that first game, watching Joel's golf, carry the ball 36 times in one game, took every direct snap except one, and pretty much carried the team into that victory. I mean, that's just a feat that you don't see often around here. One guy, pretty much put the team on his back, and, pretty much carry him into a win, and that's what Joel's golf did last game. And now with the return of Central York's quarterback Nasir Steele, it should be a different look for Central York. I believe they have an opportunity to open up the playbook a little bit more.
Right.
I think Coach Stoner for York High is going to do a great job of making some adjustments, changing the defense up a little bit, giving Central York some different looks they weren't familiar with the first time, and it can really be anybody's game. And we're super psyched about filming that game, which will be also here at the Gift Horse. They'll play it on the big projection screen behind us. So you guys come down here, check that out. If you can't make it to the game, you can watch it at home, or like I said, come down to the Gift Horse.
And for a lot of fans that are tuned in, they may want to sit in the comfort of their own home tomorrow. Based on the weather forecast tomorrow, it's going to be a bit wet with their bottled water and popcorn, and get ready for a big matchup between Central York and York High tomorrow in round one. And by the way, the winner of this game plays the winner of Wilson and Harrisburg.
Wow.
Any thoughts, gentlemen, on that second round? At least one York team will advance after tomorrow night, and we both know Wilson and Harrisburg, rich in history there with both schools there. Coach?
I mean, for me, the only downside, I guess, for York County is one York team has to lose tomorrow, because York High and Central play head-to-head. But in that second round, I mean, it's going to be whichever team wins, whether it's York High or Central, it's going to be a good game. I think I've seen Harrisburg, a few times this season, and that's a balanced breakfast on that Harrisburg side. I mean, they really come to play. So I'm looking at Harrisburg to probably be that second round opponent for either York High or Central. And it's going to be a short week. You know, you don't have a lot of time to get ready. So, you know, they're going to have to bring their A game tomorrow and then just stay focused. But like you said, on any given Friday night, anybody can win.
Yeah, Harrisburg is one of those teams. They're built for the postseason. You know, they do well during the regular season, but they're built for the postseason. You know, Coach Everett, I think Cal Everett's their head coach. He does a great job of, you know, advancing the guys and getting them ready for these games. Home of Micah Parsons as well. Now Dallas Cowboys causing havoc at the linebacker position, doing a great job for for Dallas Cowboys. But as I said again, Harrisburg is built for the postseason. But Wilson is another team, really big 6A school. A lot of kids that go to Wilson, super talented. And it's going to be a great matchup between the two 6A schools.
I guess the only thing I was going to add on to that was you brought up York High's points differential for the year. In the 3 games that they lost, everything was less than 10 points. So they've proven again, you know, they're very competitive and being able to hang with these guys. So if they step it up on the defensive end, should be able to play a difference tomorrow.
And in the other half of that bracket, by the way, let's not forget Manheim Township at Cumberland Valley. Your thoughts, crew, on that match?
As you said before, Todd, I'll let you talk a little bit about that. Manheim Township is a perennial powerhouse. Every year they come with it. Out of the Lancashire Lebanon League, really tough ball club with Manheim Township. And you did a little bit of research on Manheim.
Well, and not only at Cumberland Valley, under Coach Josh Oswald, no stranger to the York area, was a coach at Central York. They're always in it, too. It should be a heavyweight matchup between those two schools. And then Carlisle at Hempfield.
That's another good matchup between Carlisle and Hempfield. We had a chance to film Carlisle earlier this year when they went against York High. That was another barn burner. I think Carlisle had the game in the bag with about 45 seconds left, and for some reason they went for a 4th and 3 at their 38-yard line, and gave York High defense really stepped up big, gave York High another opportunity to get the ball, and then it was all Jaheim White, Florida, as a lot of people know him as, and he really turned it up and did exactly what he had to do, and York High walked away with that win. Really stole the win at home against Carlisle.
I think all the teams that we're talking about, I think all of them are explosive offensively. I believe, as I'm looking at my notes here, almost every team averages over 30 points on offense. So, I mean, every game can be a barn burner.
It can.
I mean, so I'm really looking at hopefully, seeing a lot of points. The rain holds off for us tomorrow night, I hope. And I would like to see York High and Central go around 2 with that high-scoring game.
Well, in my opinion, just hit me. If it is a wet game tomorrow, which we will predict it will be a wet game, I believe that's more so in Central's favor. They like to run the ball. Last game they ran the ball 37 times altogether. So, without having, Sam can throw the ball down the field for York High, gets a lot of chunk yardage with his big-time arm when he goes to David Ward or Quentin Price, those are his wide receivers. So, with the rain, you got to almost expect it to be pretty much a ground and pound type of football game. Old school 1980s type of feel where you just kind of get wet and dirty, get real muddy. And, pretty much, I predict it to be a low-scoring game if it's wet conditions in the game tomorrow.
I mean, I think for Central, I got a chance to watch them play a bunch of times this year, but I think Nigel DeWitt is going to make a difference in this ball game. I mean, he does a little bit of everything very well. We've seen him line up at quarterback last week against York High. We've seen him line up at running back. He plays safety. He'll drop down in the box and go to outside linebacker. I mean, he does a little bit of everything very well. So
absolutely.
He's going to be a difference maker in that game tomorrow night.
Niger DeWitt, a.k.a. Chicken, he's one of those guys that, we said early in the season, just watching him, he's the X factor. He's a complete football player. You can put him on in any position on the field, he's going to make an impact play. And he's been doing that his whole career pretty much. And, he's really underneath the radar a little bit. But, his play just makes him you got to keep your eyes on him now. He's scouted for, and they know he's coming. And let's talk about the hits that Niger lays. He lays some big-time hits. He puts everything into it. Big shout-out to Niger. And also, like I said, York High as well. They got some big-time players on the defensive end. They have a freshman, Armani Bones, playing middle linebacker right now. So that's a big-time move for a freshman to be in that position. He also made our top 10 freshman list.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to add to you was you said that the running game might go in Central's favor if the rain is in the way. But that's we've seen York High a lot of points, and we've seen Jaheim White get 5-6 touchdowns a game with a lot of the games that we've covered. So I don't know. I mean, to your point, that could go either way because I don't think that's going to stop either one of them.
Yeah, because as you said, the difference we saw in the first game between Central York and York High, I think, Todd, you can agree with this. I believe that Jaheim White only got like 9 or 11 rushes in the first half. Second half, he won wild. They gave him the ball a lot more, but he's a guy you just got to keep feeding him. And we didn't see that the first time when York High played against him. And it still was a very close game.
Very close game.
And with the weather conditions tonight, I think tomorrow night, both running backs for each team, I mean, they could have a field day. And really, it's who has less yardage in terms of total, whether it be Jaheim White or Joel's Goff tomorrow. But both running backs, I mean, it should be a great matchup. And the game plan, obviously, with the weather should play right into a solid running game, as you mentioned, too.
Absolutely. And that game will be live on TV. It'll also be on cable channel 18 of York. Also, White Rose Community Television page. There's a lot of people down here at the Gift Horse tonight. We're going to encourage everybody to come down, come check us out. And we're going to do some live interviews in a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and roll to a commercial, and we'll come back and do a couple live interviews. We have some people here. We want to talk to them while they're here and get their opinion about, these upcoming games, and just get some more recognition of some of our sponsors and people that's involved in Sports Shooting Stars.
At Dean's Auto Plaza, we sell trucks as a team. Life is a game of trucks, gentlemen, and the trucks people need are everywhere around us. When you add a free year of roadside assistance and a free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty with your truck purchase, it's gonna make a difference to that customer. And when you look at that customer, you'll know they love trucks as much as you. Now, what are you gonna do? Now you know what you need to do. Dean's Auto Plaza, we are Hanover's truck giant.
Football is alive right here in York County. Get your popcorn ready. It's going down.
You already know what time it is, boys.
We're excited to be here, Coach. Watch you do ball out on Friday night.
Dial in right now.
Touch out, rock about, babe. Tell them come through. Tell them come do what they do. Tell them come make the news.
So, tell me how it happened.
He seemed a little nervous, and then he got down on one knee. Then he said, I think it's time we get serious.
Then what?
Opened up a box, and it was everything I could have asked for.
The free year of roadside assistance?
And the free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty.
You mean?
He went to Dean's.
Woo!
They're so cute when they get their first truck. Dean's Auto Plaza, we are Hanover's truck giant.
I can do. They did it Sunday. Yeah, I did it Sunday.
We're back, sports fans.
Hey, how's it going? We're back, and we're going to do a couple of interviews with some players around the league. And one player that I want to talk to right now is the leading rusher in the YIAA this year. He came on really strong. He plays for York County School of Technology. His name is Anthony Torres. He's here tonight to talk with us. Thanks, Anthony, for showing up, man. I really appreciate it. Give us a little feedback about, this year you had and how much fun you had, or, one of the games that really stick out to you.
I enjoyed it. I surprised myself. I didn't really think I was going to achieve that much that I did. But fortunately, our record season wasn't that good. But you know, I still did what I could, and we had fun. I made a lot of memories my senior year. I was glad I got to do it with them guys, and I'm just thankful for God that I got to do that with them guys and achieve the goals that I did.
Absolutely. You got a good foundation with your family, man. They were really behind you this whole year. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was your first year playing the running back position, right?
No, this is my second year. I started junior year, my junior year.
Okay, junior year running, playing at the running back position. And how many yards? I think we had down around 1,000. You were about 70 yards away from 2,000 yards this year?
Yeah. Last year I had like 400 around there. And this year I had around rushing yards, I had 1,933, and then all-purpose yards, I had 2,044.
You say that low, man. You got to say that high, right, Coach? Tell them how important that is to have that many yards as a running back. Or 1,000. Last year he said he had around 400. Then he just flipped the script and just tripled that this year with around 1,900 and around 40 yards. So
I mean, that just goes to show he dedicated himself. He had to have a tremendous off-season workout. You know, he had to hit the gym, hit the weight room. I'm sure he probably got faster. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing him play, but I do have a question. I know some people might want to know, so I'm going to ask while I got you here. What are your plans after high school? I know, is there any school that you want to lean towards, or what's on your wish list?
Yeah, I'm thinking about going to trade school. I'm looking at a couple trade schools right now and getting into trade and still playing football.
And that's great to say, because I know a lot of trade schools here in the area, they still do have football teams, so that's a good plan.
Yeah.
I think Thaddeus Stevens comes to mind over in Lancaster. That's
absolutely
a great school, and it's great.
And they have a good, a nice program at Thaddeus Stevens football team.
A good football conference. I think they're in the Seaboard Conference at Thaddeus Stevens.
Yes.
That's a tough conference. And Anthony, you landed #1 on our breakout stars list, man. You was right there at the top, man. When we were thinking about that, guys were kind of underneath the radar a little bit, and you landed at #1 and stayed at #1 for the whole season. So what do you think is the biggest difference from last year to this year, besides your growth or just getting stronger? What do you think the difference is?
I think my team was way closer than we was last year, so I think that was a good thing. And I think I just really dedicated myself and told my team, and I'm going to run until I can't no more. So I hope y'all with me, and if y'all not, I'm going to still do it. So I just really dedicated myself and really put all my heart into this season. And last season, I didn't really get to start because there was a senior running back in front of me, but as soon as I got my chances to get in, I got what it felt like to be in the varsity team, and just got the feel of it and still did my best as what I could. And then this year I really just took off and went with it.
Well, we want to let the college coaches know about Anthony Torres over at York County School of Technology. Kind of underneath the radar, he's a diamond in the rough, over 1,900 yards this year rushing, for during the senior campaign. And that, I think you even get more credit for that because, your team was on a losing record this year. So you really had to take a bulk of a lot of hits, and a lot of touches, man. And I know you go over to the Basketball Warehouse, which is one of our sponsors this year. Talk about this Basketball Warehouse and what it does for you while you're over there.
Well, the one thing I really enjoyed was the recovery suit. It really helped me get my legs back into it. If I wasn't for them, I'd probably be really banged up, still right now. But the recovery suit really helped me a lot and helped me get back to it the next week and get back into my flow and feel better.
Well, this is Brandon Elby from the Basketball Warehouse. We were just talking to Anthony Torres. I think there was a mic for you right there. We were just talking to Anthony Torres about, him having over 1,900 yards rushing this year, and really getting banged up throughout the season. And we talked a little bit about the Basketball Warehouse and the Recovery Center, and how that helped him out this year. And he was just a tidbit about, he was just kind of talking about that. But can you give us about the Recovery Center and the Basketball Warehouse, and, and what Anthony brings to the table when he comes over there?
Definitely. I mean, it's phenomenal having a young man like Anthony coming to the warehouse, not just because of his athletic ability, but just his personality. He's a great kid. Great young man, I should say, very athletic, and despite the success that he's had, he's always humble and very respectful to everyone that's in there. When he comes in, he definitely takes advantage of the Normatec Recovery, which is air compression massagers that go over in your entire legs, and then through air compression, they massage and recirculate the blood through your legs to help prevent soreness, muscle recovery, prevent inflammation and things of that nature. So all the key things for any athlete, especially a running back of Anthony's caliber, but any athlete, any adult can come through and definitely benefit from using our Normatec Recovery.
Absolutely. And where are you guys located at, the Basketball Warehouse? I know it's on Industry
Industrial Highway, 2292 Industrial Highway, right down from Sam's Club and Walmart in East York. So,
Absolutely.
We have 2 Dr. Dish machines there, as well as a Laser 100 dribble simulator. So we welcome all kids from 2nd grade up to college age, prep school level. We're currently doing a Little Ballers program right now, which is K through 2 on the 8-foot hoop. So we're teaching a lot of the fundamentals of basketball. We have a lot of kids participating right now, which has been a phenomenal turnout. But yes, we're offering a lot of things for York County basketball. So if you're interested, just reach out to us on Facebook, Basketball Warehouse York. You can also find us on Instagram at Basketball Warehouse York.
Absolutely, Brandon. We really appreciate that. We got to get Anthony out of here soon. He actually has to go to work. He's like I said, student athlete, and he has a job. So we want to get him out of here. First and foremost, really appreciate you showing up, Anthony.
Thanks for showing up, Anthony. Yeah, from the football field to the basketball court, right? You're going to be taking some hits, and maybe you're going to be giving out some dunks coming up at Votech this year, right?
Well, talk about York County School of Technology, that gym they have. I mean, that's like top-notch gymnasium, so you can really put up a lot of points there, have a good time during your senior year and keep working hard, man. We're very proud of what you've been doing so far. Like I said, you put a lot of people on notice when we post some of your stats, and like everybody says, hey, that kid from Votech, we wasn't aware about him until now. So like you've put a lot of people on blast, man. So keep working hard, and we're proud of you.
All the best to your future endeavors. There we go.
Yeah,
Anthony
thanks
Torres,
a lot.
the leading rusher in YAIAA football this season, right here joining us on the panel tonight from the Gift Horse Brewery in downtown York. And still time for fans to come down, right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful night. It's dry. There's no rain in the forecast tonight.
Yeah, it's a great night. And this year, I believe more than ever, Coach Way, you know about this. You've been around York County forever. So for you as well, Cisco, it's been a year of the running backs. It's Jewels, it's Florida, it's Mikey Benavega, it's Anthony Torres, it's a couple other backs I know I'm forgetting out there, but they have really led their team this year with putting the team on their back and going forward and getting some wins for the team.
For me, that's a good look for me. I like the running backs. I came up at York High back in the 80s, and I played with guys like John Palmer and Montez Parker and Tyson Thomas and McGill Barnes. So we've had tremendous running backs at York High. We had Brad Sprinkle was at quarterback. We was a wishbone team, so running the ball is great for me. I love to see it. So I'm enjoying the year of the running backs in the county.
As the late Woody Hayes said, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But now conversely in 2022, it seems like more of the offense is opened up now. It's more of a passing game. Do you see that, Coach?
It's actually, I feel like it's been a really good blend. Like I said, you have teams like York High that has Florida, and then they have Sam at quarterback, and they're both excelling. And you have the same thing at schools like Central, where you have Jewels Golf at running back, and then you have Nasir Steele at quarterback, and all of those teams are playing elite football right now. Like I said, they're going to play each other again tomorrow night, and it can go either way. It can be a running back game, or if need be, Steele and Stoner could air it out.
Well, it should be an interesting matchup tonight. We want to remind the fans that are tuned in tonight, tune in tomorrow night to Sports Shooting Stars as we bring the game to you. York High at Central York. Coverage will begin at 6:45, kickoff 7 p.m. tomorrow night. It's probably going to be a little wet and soggy at Central Panthers Stadium. Cisco, how do you work under those conditions when it's raining out during a game? Can you tell the viewers a little bit about that insight?
Yeah, I remember last year was tough. I mean, we ended up bringing trash bags to kind of wrap around the cameras, and we ended up being there for about 3 quarters until it was enough. Like, you couldn't take any more. A lot of the footage and stuff was really grainy and everything from afterwards. It is tough in those conditions to really be out there and do it. So I know some of the other videographers and stuff that are out there kind of struggled with the last time too. So you guys were lucky enough to be in the press box and be out of the rain. Yeah, but being on the sidelines, there's really no way to avoid the weather. So
yeah, it's always those conditions, those elements when we're out there filming or taking some pictures is always a challenge.
The cold's one thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can wear layers and stuff and you'll be fine. Gloves, scarf, your hat, you're okay. But the rain, after a while, everything gets heavy and on you, it's just rough. So
absolutely,
can't beat that.
Well, moving forward, we want to go ahead and get some recognition to some of our freshman phenom that made our top 10 list that happen to be here tonight. We don't have any players that's playing tomorrow at this event because we don't want any distractions.
They both are holding practices. I reached out to a few of the player and coaches, and they're unable to come out tonight. We would have loved to have them here on our panel, but with practice and preparation for tomorrow night's game, they're certainly not going to miss out on that. But we do have some players here, as you mentioned.
We do, and I'm going to go ahead and
freshmen.
Invite those guys over. Some guys from West York can come over, some of the freshmen, and also senior Amari Davis. Amari, you can take a seat right here. You got some seniority over these guys, I guess. You're a little older. These guys, Ethan and Cole, y'all guys can come behind us from Eastern York. We'll do an interview with some of you guys.
West
I'll give you guys the center seat there. Whoever want to sit down first, that's fine. Well, I'll interview Amari first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Amari, you've been over at West York for the last couple of years. You guys have a really good program. What are some of the highs and lows that you had going on this year with the West York program?
First, I'm going to start with one of our highs was that, we all came out, fought together, played together. We were brothers. And then some of our lows was that we couldn't finish games. It was hard for us to finish games. But every week we came back and fought. Every week I wasn't there. Most of the time, the games, Friday nights, I wasn't there. But every week I came back trying to feed in, film, give them knowledge, everything I got.
Well, Amari, I follow you on Facebook and also on Instagram, and I have to say, man, out of a lot of student athletes that I know, you're one of the most positive guys that I know, man. You're always encouraging your team. Even when you're down, you're encouraging your team. Like I said, you had a horrendous, injury this year that really sidelined you, during the half of the season. But your mentality and your mindset always stayed up. I see you always encouraging people, and that says a lot about your leadership. As a senior, coming in, senior, correct?
I'm a
junior. That's why I had to correct myself. Junior. So you got a whole nother year coming back. Just talk a little bit about that injury that you sustained, and and just your walk to get back on the field.
Yeah. So back against Suburban, play. I ended up breaking my fibula. Season injury. So, but that didn't stop me. I went in. Like I said, I put in the work in the film, trying to give knowledge, try to stay positive in the locker room, trying to make sure guys are cleaning up after themselves, trying to just push us in a positive way so we can stay up for the next week. And I think that really helped because some of our games were really close and we were up in most of the games. So yeah, and now going through therapy, get myself right. It's been a journey. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a journey.
Well, I also want to say you have a lot of support from your family as well. Your dad, your mother, your siblings, and your family. They're always there to support you. Coach Way, a guy like Amari. Give me some feedback on a guy like Amari.
I was a DB coach at West York Amari's freshman year.
Okay.
And I always told him, I used to have to fuss with Amari at practice, but I always told him, I said, let him know you're gifted. You have an amazing gift, because he ended up being a freshman starter for me at West York. And I had a question for him because now that you've been a 3-year starter and you had to put up with me, now that you're a junior going into your senior year, what advice would you give your younger self?
Advice I would give myself is you just got to know who's watching. You got to keep your head. You got to make sure you're doing the little things, because the little things matter. I wish I would have put in the work in my freshman year. I was with you most of my freshman year. You were pushing me, but I wish when I went home, I was doing my own thing. I wish I would have been doing those push-ups that you told me to do, doing those ab workouts you told me to do, because it would have paid off, and I know it would have.
Like I said, for me, I'm glad to see that you're back up, you're healthy. I'll be in the stands during basketball season.
We will too.
Like I told you, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna see this thing through. So, coach is always gonna be there cheering for you.
Absolutely. That's the thing about York County coaches, a close-knit family, to be honest with you. We all know each other. But, Amari, you got two of your younger guys here, two freshmen that made our top 10 freshman list. Can you give me a little feedback on Donovan and Slade and, what they bring to the table? And this, their ceiling, how far you think they can go this year? Well, the year is coming up for West York, representing your school.
Yeah, those two right there, bright futures. They're going to be the face of West York. Just because of the way they act, they're always positive and they're mature. For freshmen, they're very mature. But starting with Donovan, like he wasn't here most of the season. He was up at Susky, but he always stayed in touch because he's a brother. Like he's been around during the off season. He's always been at workouts, and he had a very good season from what I'm hearing. And Slade's just always been a dog. He's probably one of the hardest workers on our team right now. He's never missed any summer workout. He's never missed anything really. Like even 7-on-7s, he's out there snapping the ball, talking to other linemen from other teams. Like this kid, he really likes football and he really likes putting in the work.
And when we were doing the top 10 list, me and Todd, we were going over the top 10 list. Slade and Donovan, you guys just jumped out there. There were people that were tagging you guys left and right, to get you guys recognized this year. So Slade, give me a little bit about your football background and coming into playing for West York. Or you're from the West York area, I assume.
So I started playing when I was 6, and I just played the whole way up through, and basically just always in the gym with my father. And just always put the work in, and I just always loved the sport, and it just kind of carried over to the field, all the working out and the on the field work, and just obviously playing with my teammates, and it just made it all flow. And this year, it all came together.
So do you normally play the linebacker position, or what position do you normally play?
I play center.
Play center. I don't know why I was thinking linebacker, but okay, you play center. So you've been playing center for the last few years for West York, just the program and guys over there. Tell me a little bit about Donovan. It's your freshman sidekick over there, man. Give me a little bit about Donovan.
Yeah, Donovan's my guy. Kind of brought him in playing football in his first year. He was his first year, and I seen something in him because he was tall and he's a hard worker and he's dedicated to the sport, and he loves playing football.
Absolutely, man. Donovan, if you don't mind coming over for just a second, Donovan, we'll talk to Donovan for a second. Donovan, listen, I guess 6'3", what, 180, 6'4", 180, 190. You're just a freshman, which is amazing to me to be a freshman, but there's something in the water nowadays, Coach. I don't know. These kids are a lot bigger than we used to be. But, Donovan, give us a little bit of your background of, playing sports and, just coming into West York and some of your goals for next year playing for West York.
When I first started my first year, I really wasn't good, so that motivated me, to come back and get better. Like his father, he got me in the gym and stuff when I first started because I wasn't really in the gym. So that's what motivated me really. And then I came my freshman year, I had transferred, but now I'm back to West York, transferred back. Milestones I just want to break next year. I want to have a lot more tackles, sacks, pressures, and stuff like that. And just want to get my name out there as much as I can.
Absolutely. If you guys don't mind, like I said, you guys did make our top 10 list along with some Eastern players over here we'll be talking to in a second. But give me some of your stats this year, as far as playing for, West York.
I played for Susky. I think I had
Susky.
Yeah. I think I have 30 tackles or something like that, somewhere around there. 19 pressures, 2 sacks. I think I did really good my freshman year. Showed up, did a lot, to impact my team and always stay positive no matter through the losses.
Well, I always say, man, West York has a lot of talent over there from the basketball side to the football side. So, as far as you, Slade, give me some of your stats this year that you come over here for a second. Give me some of your stats this year that you had as a freshman.
So I didn't play a lot of defense this year because we didn't have much depth at the center position, but I got 1 sack in there against Eastern, and just played in the trenches all game, and I feel like I blocked pretty well as a freshman.
Yeah, you did a great job this year, and that's another reason why you guys made our top 10 list for freshmen in the YIAA. I know we're going to be calling your names a lot more this season, so we're really excited to see you guys. And if you haven't got a smash burger yet, go ahead and get a smash burger over there, get a drink, and we'll talk to you guys in a few.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mari. Good luck, bud. All the best. Yep, take care.
See you, Mari.
The Golden Knights now are coming in here, dude.
Take a seat.
Take a seat, gentlemen. Yeah, well, go ahead, dude.
And we have 2 Eastern Knights players here to represent. We have Ethan Spragnoli. I'm sorry. And also Cole Staker. So greetings, guys. Thanks for showing up here tonight. Todd, you have any questions you want to talk to these guys?
How was it? You played for first-year coach. How was it? How did it go this year for Eastern?
We had expectations. We didn't really meet them too well, but it's pretty good because I know Coach Bud before, so it feels nice playing for somebody that knows that'll push you and wants the best out of you always.
And your thoughts on first-year coach Bud Lau?
I really liked it. I feel like he really pushed our team to where we wanted to be, but not where we should have been, I mean, happy he's finally on the team.
And you guys are young. You're going to be around for the next couple of years there with Eastern York, correct?
Yeah.
So you're looking for to improve upon this year. Yep. Do your thought.
Yeah, when we did our top 10 list, you two guys' names just kind of sprouted out there big time. Tell me what it is to play as a freshman on the varsity level. I know that's really tough. You know, the guys are probably 50, 40 pounds heavier, you know, more strength and more mature. You know, just give me some feedback about your first year playing at the varsity level, you know, under Coach Bud Kyle. And also, one of your guys, Austin Billett, was one of our top 10 players as well this year. But give me your perspective coming into the game and being ready as a freshman to play at the varsity level.
It was a little nerve-wracking at first, seeing how big the other guys are, but you can't even always look at the size. You just got to trust yourself, trust your teammates around you. They're gonna play to the best of their ability.
Absolutely. Cole, can you give me some?
Honestly, I think it was just not getting in your head. You know, some of the guys are going to be a lot bigger than you, but just as long as you're not getting in your head and getting scared, you'll be good.
Absolutely. Can you guys give me some of your, do you have any game rituals that you do before the game? Something that you do before the game to get you hyped up or get you ready for the game, or it could be a breakfast, it could be a meal, or this your routine?
Every Thursdays we have dinners, and one of the grandmas cooks the dinners for us, and all the parents help with that. So that really brings us together. And me and Cole, we usually pray before every game. You know.
Yeah, I think that's very important. That's a nice way of getting ready for the game. You, Cole?
Yeah, like you said, we have a meal Thursday night, and then afterwards I go to like youth group, you know, just calm my mind.
Absolutely. Now tell me who's on the playlist. Who's some of your favorite artists right now on your playlist before a game that you listen to? Let's hear. You guys are freshmen still. You guys are still young guys, man. So who's on your top 5 playlist?
Probably like Lil Baby before games.
Okay.
Like maybe Nardo. I forget his last name.
Nardo Wick. I know you're talking about. Okay.
I don't know. I can't think
I got you. What about you, Cole? Who you listening to before the game?
I listen to the score a little bit, and that's nothing really else that sticks out. You know?
I got you. So, guys, before we get you out of here, what are your plans for this off season? And for your plans for next year? Playing football for the Eastern Knights.
My plan this year is try to get in the 1,000-pound club. Be in the gym, get big. Like, I'm small right now. I probably will be small. I'm probably not going to grow much anymore. I just got to accept that, and just got to use my advantages, my strength.
No doubt. They can't judge your heart, though, man. Your heart is going to keep you in the game and keep you focused. What about you, Cole?
My goal is get to 185 for next season. I'm 167 right now, and then probably get faster. I want to get into the 4s for my speed. I'm working on that, and I just get faster and get bigger.
All right, sounds good, guys. Any questions, Coach or Cisco?
Yeah, I do. Well, first off, congratulations. You guys made it here, and you're being recognized by the entire county as being outstanding players, and you're only a freshman. My question is, what advice do you have for the incoming freshmen? Because there's going to be a you on your team next year.
Always keep that competitive spirit and never lose your heart. You always got to work harder than everyone else in the room, no matter what, no matter how hard it is, because nobody's ever died from working too hard.
Like I said before, just don't get scared. Stay out of your head. Just keep your mind narrow and just keep it on the goal you want.
Absolutely. I know it's a lot for you guys as only freshmen, but you guys did a great year, finishing the year, with your ball club. Bud Kyle, he'll be back next year as your coach. Like I said, you guys got a bright future. Really appreciate you guys coming out here. If you haven't got a smash burger already, go ahead and get one. It's on us. Hang out a little bit more at the gift horse, and we really appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot. Hey, play some cornhole over there. Some cornhole going on. So
good luck to your future endeavors. Good luck. Yep.
And we're going to go ahead and go to another commercial break. We're going to show some highlights of the upcoming game between Central York and York High. And afterwards, we're going to have an interview with Bruce Wahlberg and some of our sponsors that's a part of Sports Shooting Stars to help us get the game on the TV. So we'll be back here in about a minute and a half.
At Dean's Auto Plaza, we sell trucks as a team. Life is a game of trucks, gentlemen, and the trucks people need are everywhere around us. When you add a free year of roadside assistance and a free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty with your truck purchase, it's gonna make a difference to that customer. And when you look at that customer, you'll know they love trucks as much as you. Now, what are you gonna do? Now you know what you need to do. Dean's Auto Plaza. We are Hanover's truck giant.
Suavemente bésame.
Football is alive right here in York County. Get your popcorn ready. It's going down.
You already know what time it is, boys.
We're excited to be here, Coach. Watch you dudes ball out on Friday night.
Dial in right now.
Roll it 10 plus 8, touch out, rock about baby. Tell them come through, tell them come do what they do, tell them come make the news.
So, tell me how it happened.
He seemed a little nervous, and then he got down on one knee. Then he said, I think it's time we get serious.
Then what?
Opened up a box, and it was everything I could have asked for.
The free year of roadside assistance?
And the free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty.
You mean?
He went to Dean's.
Woo!
They're so cute when they get their first truck.
Dean's Auto Plaza. We are Hanover's truck giant.
The Gift Horse Brewing Company,
And
a gracious host for us to our inaugural show.
Oh, I'm telling you,
tonight.
man, if you're not here tonight, you need to come down. It's starting to be very festive. It's a nice environment, good atmosphere. Downtown York, a lot of people showed up. You know, it's been a great atmosphere here tonight, and we have some
Dallastown Wildcats.
That's your neck of the woods.
It is. Yeah, joining us, introduce. Let's give it.
Hey, we got Caleb Fox, who we've been calling his name quite often throughout the last 2 years.
Yep.
And also John Rose, the left tackle. Oh, I'm sorry, left guard. Left guard. Let me not get that messed up.
He looks like he could play left tackle as well, from my vantage.
He's a big guy. Let me not get that messed up.
Yeah.
But thanks for showing up here, showing up here tonight. We're gonna do a quick interview with you guys and talk a little bit about your season this year. Coach Way, you have any questions for John or Caleb?
I do. He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
Like, what is like your preparation like? Like going into the season. Are you? I'm not sure what your class is. Are you a senior?
I'm a senior, yeah.
Okay, so like, what are your plans? Are you going on to college or?
Yeah, I want to play football in college. So preparation for the season, I mean, it was like pretty much as soon as January came around, we started back in the weight room, and then all season just grinding in the weight room, lifting, and then the all season we went into outdoor practices, getting some of the game plans getting some of the game plan into the books, so we kind of get mentally prepared for that. So.
Okay. But like, what advice would you give for like some younger kids that's gonna go up and say, hey, I'm gonna be a high school offensive lineman? Like, what would you tell? Like, if it was you, what would you tell your younger you?
Definitely get in the weight room. I know that helped me a bunch, freshman, sophomore year especially. That's just like a big growing point, and when you can actually start to lift heavier, and that's really gonna help you in the long run as a lineman. So.
Now, being a senior, do you have like a top 5 or a school that you want to go to or leaning towards?
I'm definitely leaning towards PSAC. So
okay.
We went to East Stroudsburg for our team camp, and I really liked it up there, and I like Millersville too. So.
Well, that's good. Congratulations. Hopefully you get into one of those schools. Hopefully it works out for you.
Yeah, and Caleb, you're a senior as well, correct?
Yeah.
What are your future plans when it comes to football and further education?
Well, my football career is actually over. I'm going to college to play lacrosse at Baldwin Wallace, which is in Cleveland, Ohio. So sadly, football is over, but
a new door's opening with your lacrosse career,
Yeah.
and looking forward to that.
Yeah,
correct?
very much.
Any highlights from the season for you guys in terms of playing for Dallastown your senior year? Is there a memory, a game that stands out from your playing career?
Well, I think the Southwestern game was a memory for us. It was a very close game coming down to the wire. We got a big play at the end of the game, had a couple goal line stands. So it was a real thriller. There's kids after the game throwing up. It was just the whole show was going on.
Wow.
So it was a game that, felt good for everybody, and it was just a good team win.
And a game that stands out for you or as well?
Definitely senior night. That was obviously a special one. I feel like you get that little extra juice whenever it's your last time, especially for us. Last time on that field, last time before the new field, new stadium gets built. So it was definitely something to kind of send that field out, send all those memories out from that era of Dallastown football.
And for fans that are tuned in, there's going to be a new stadium in time for next year's season being built, a new Dallastown football. And I've seen some of the pictures and renderings of it. It looks fabulous, and I'm sure you guys wish you could be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely something that, it's kind of, a metaphor that, a whole new culture. Coach Murphy coming in with the new stadium, kind of just everything starting fresh. So I think it's good. The younger kids are obviously going to enjoy it. Wish I could reclass and get a year with it.
There it is.
Sadly,
Yeah.
can't do that in public school. So yeah, it'll be good for the younger kids getting to grow up in that stadium. The old one obviously will have a special place in my heart always. But
And Coach Levi Murphy, you both played first year for Coach, the youngest coach in the league. Your overall experience and expectations with Coach?
Well, our expectations at Dallastown were as high as they could be. Obviously, people around the league were skeptical. He's young. He may look young, and he might be young, but he is the oldest 25-year-old I've ever met. Some of the sayings he just gets. I swear he was around in Bible times. He's just knows everything. He has so much experience.
An old soul.
Very old soul.
Yeah.
And then he brought in a lot of the older coaches, so just the atmosphere. There's a lot of football knowledge around us, so it was a smooth transition. And then, we went up, and I think he did a good job, a very good job his first year.
Well, there's a lot of talent over at Dallastown. We know that for the last couple of years. But give us a little bit before we get you guys out here. Give me a little bit about playing with guys like Kenny Johnson. The fanfare that he brings to the table in every game.
Michael
Even Owen
Scott.
Strauss and Michael
And
Scott. These guys. Just give me a little bit of tidbit about playing alongside these guys.
It's definitely cool to think like, hey, next year we're gonna see these guys on the big screen. So even like playing with guys like Jaheim White and like Jewels, like you already know, like these guys are gonna do some crazy things in college, and it's just like, wow, like I was like on the field with him.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like away from like the work point stand, like these guys are like the hardest workers you'll ever meet, and like the nicest guys, and like they're so down to earth and humble. Like you won't even think like when you meet them like that these are like 3-star athletes.
Absolutely.
Like it doesn't show that way, but once you get on the field, you can definitely see that that's what it is.
And real quick, guys, before we get you out here, give us your picks for the YIAA, the games this week. We have Dover versus
At Exeter.
At Exeter. Give me your picks.
Probably Exeter.
I'll pick Exeter.
We also have York Suburban versus Manheim Township.
Manheim Central.
Manheim Central. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go York Suburban.
I'll go Manheim Central.
Manheim Central. Fourth pick, New Oxford.
Hosting Northern York Polar Bears.
Northern York Polar Bears.
I think Northern.
Yeah, I'll go Northern too.
And this game is about a pregame of our Central York versus York High game that we're featuring tomorrow. Don't be scared to say it.
I know
Who you got?
You guys know both teams well, so go ahead.
I think Central York's gonna come out with the win.
I'll go York High just to
Just to balance it out. I got you. Hey guys, we got a list over there of what we think for the scores of the game. Go ahead and give us your scores of the game. If you haven't got a smash burger, go ahead and get one over there. If not, we really appreciate you guys showing up. Thanks, you.
Caleb. Thanks.
Follow us on Sports News Stars.
Yep.
We'll continue to follow
guys.
you during lacrosse as well. So good job, guys. See you later.
Dallastown Wildcats in the house here at Gift Horse Brewing, downtown York. And there's still plenty of time for you to come down, put your face in the place here in downtown York. An absolutely magnificent night to be outside. May not be so much, Coach, tomorrow night over at Central with the rain in the forecast tomorrow night.
I mean, I was at last year's game, so I'm well equipped and I'm ready because I'm going to be out there for 4 quarters. Whether it's raining or not, I'm out there, and hopefully we can pack the stadium out again, and let's see what happens. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be explosive no matter what the weather is. I'm sure the game's going to be explosive.
And we also have a couple of our sponsors here tonight. Let's go to bring in our first sponsor, a season-long sponsor for the last couple years, and that's Dean's Auto Plaza with Bruce Wahlberg.
You may see him on those TV ads or hear him on the radio.
All the time.
All the time.
He's the man.
Make your way in here, Bruce. Yep, you're that guy. Come on in.
You get to sit at the table.
This is it. The mother load. Welcome. Bruce.
Glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Bruce, your thoughts, first of all, on this format tonight, your thoughts on the format, and then talk a little bit about the game then.
I just think this is an awesome thing for you guys to be doing out here. I played back in the day where you had to catch it at 11 o'clock at night, or you were lucky enough at the newspaper the next morning you saw your name in it. You know, there is nothing like this other than the black and white films I used to watch on Monday morning, Monday practice time, you know. So this is wonderful. I really think, you know, bringing the game to everybody that's out there, it just doesn't showcase it showcases the whole team. You know, it showcases the fan, it showcases the school, which is, I think, is really, really important in this league, you know, and how it's growing and how it's becoming a powerhouse. You know, it's always a team to watch out of York. So,
absolutely. We really appreciate that. We know you're a big CV fan. You do a lot for CVs, representing CV football tonight, and they're also in the 6A District 3 playoffs. And CV plays against
Manheim Township. He has the CV swag on. We should ask Bruce his thoughts on who will win that big matchup.
Yeah, give us a little bit of tidbit of that matchup and, you know, weaknesses and strength that CV has going into that game.
You know, if everybody's healthy going into the game, they're forced to be reckoned with. Manheim Township, the quarterback and the receivers, super quick. So maybe the rain will play into CV's favor. I think it's a completely different team than what CV played at the first opening game, and which we won. But I'm sure it'll be an exciting game. We love the rain at CV. We don't have a problem with that anymore because the grass field's gone.
Oh, that field is something else, and that's where they're going to hold the District 3 championship game there this year as well, correct? Or is that state championship? State championship game will be at CV, so that's a big thing for the area, for Cumberland Valley.
Yeah, moving it out of Hershey, you know, I think was a good thing. We'll see if it plays out to continue to be a good thing. I'm sure for the economy in the area, you know, high school football, not only in the 717 area, but in the state, you know, we hold our own with the states that seem to want to be the best in the country. So, no question.
Yeah, that's a good program with CV. Coach, I know you know a little bit about CV.
I do, and I don't really have a question, but I'm definitely a fan. I was at the Central game. And I love the quarterback and the big. I told you I'm a fan of big running backs, you know. And I got to watch them kids, and hey, it was exciting. And hopefully they can come home with a win. It's been a long time since York County schools had this kind of firepower going into the districts and the expectation that we can actually win. So for me, you know, being old school, you know, I like it. And especially, like I said, I'm a fan of big running backs. So go CV.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also I want to tell the fans about Bruce. Bruce does a lot for the last couple of years with a lot of the youth athletics, you know, football, basketball, or anything that's as far as athletics. He does a great job. Like I said, it's not a game that he doesn't want to put on TV. I mean, every game that comes up, he's like, hey, let's do it. We really appreciate everything that you do, Bruce, for the program, and also what you do for the CV. Can you give us a little tidbit, or not a tidbit, a little intro of the Saturday game with the Cumberland Valley. Give me the backstory.
All right, so backstory is you brought me in here with you guys, and you twisted my arm a little bit, but I was all about it. And you know, Dean's likes to be really in the grassroots effort. You know, we advertise at all the other places, but we love to be in the grassroots effort. You know, we really think this is something that's like in town, and it affects and it gives a show that we really appreciate. So Cumberland Valley Midget Football, which is the feeder program for the high school program, is in the Super Bowl for the CFA League against Central Penn, which is Bishop McDevitt's feeder program. And I asked for a favor, and you guys graciously obliged us to be able to do it live. I was looking at some of the feedback when things started to hit today and the scuttlebutt out there, and seeing people that are going to share this with family that they have overseas, family that can't make it. You know, youth sports is a big thing, and I totally believe that that's where you mold it. That's where you make it's bigger than the game. And you know, to have good programs, and I know that York has a good program coming in. I know Central has a good program coming in, and the youth that want to stay involved, to put your program out here like this, and the kids seeing that thing, that's almost as good as getting a high five from those seniors or those juniors coming off the field on a Friday night.
Absolutely. I think you hit it right on the nose. We really have a great relationship with the community and also the student athletes in the schools. And, you know, having the opportunity with you guys helping us out with sponsorships to get these games on TV, to interact with the student athletes has really been a plus. It's only going up this year, you know, and we're really looking forward to the Midget Football Championship game, well, Super Bowl, as they call it, the Midget Super Bowl that's going to be held at McDevitt on Saturday, 12:30, is it 1:30? 1:30, you know, Cumberland Valley versus Central Penn, which is the McDevitt feeder system, and you know, it should be a really good game. We're filming that game live, so guys, go check that out. We'll have the game link available on our site later on tomorrow, so you get to check that out as well. And Bruce, just give me some predictions that you have, you know, for the Central York versus York High game.
Oh wow! You know, put me on the spot. Huh?
This is the hot, yeah.
You know, in one breath, I want to say, hey, Central's gonna, rule the roost. But York, it just to never give up. They just never give up, and the talent that they have, and the players that they have, and the heart that they have. One of the neatest things is being able to sit on a Friday night, up in New Kingstown at the high school and watch CV, and then check out the games that are on yours. Stream it right on my phone. Yep. It's like NFL Red Zone up in there. So I'm digging that. So kind of evaded the question there, but
That's okay. You can talk.
You're
not going to talk your way out of this one.
We're live on the air still. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick York. I just like the chances they have, and I don't think that you can keep a team like that down. They're gonna come back and they're gonna get you.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a really good game. We're really excited to film that game tomorrow. But give us a little bit about Dean's Auto Plaza. I've been there before a few times. You guys' showroom is something that's second to none. I don't know if you've ever been there before. Dean's Auto Plaza located.
I've never been there, but it sounds like I need to be.
You need to be there. You need to be there. You go to the showroom, it's like, old school cars, everything you can think of. But give us a little bit about Dean's Auto Plaza, how long you've been there, and all the support and all the sponsorship you do with Dean's. I mean, I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a good team. We've been there for about 15 years. Everybody seems to, it's a no pressure place. You've seen our commercials or heard our commercials. They call me the Woo Man, and I don't if you know why, but
maybe you can give one of those before you get off the air here.
Yeah. We do everything that all the other dealers do, except it's a no pressure thing. We got a 4.8 and a 4.5 star rating on Google and Facebook. So it's not only important to make the sale, but it's important to handle the customers afterwards. We got about 60% of our business is repeat and referral. So we seem to be doing something right. We love Hanover. We love the York area. And man, if you're in the market for a car, come on down and see us, and we'll see what we can put together for you. Or 24/7, DeansAutoplaza.com.
There you go. Woo! And that's the Woo Man.
That is it. Bruce Wolpert in the
it.
house here at Gift Horse Brewing. We thank you for joining us, Bruce. A pleasure.
And we'll be talking to Bruce again on Saturday and tomorrow with Dean's Auto Plaza supporting our program for the Central York versus York High game. And let's go ahead and bring over Seth Sager, another student athlete, basketball player for Southwestern. He showed up tonight with his father, who's also, you can take a seat
here,
there.
Seth. Yeah.
If you remember, Seth, he was in our Eli Brooks fundraiser event. He was in a dunk contest, putting up some big-time dunks and getting involved with some other guys. Let's just talk a little bit about that, Seth. How was that dunk contest and just, showing up? I know it's a lot of pressure on you, man, but how was it for you?
Yeah, no, it was an experience for sure. I mean, it was like for a good cause, and I wanted to try to show everyone I could jump a little bit and had fun. I mean, I didn't win it, but it's a good experience overall.
No doubt. You had a lot of fun there, and like I said, we appreciate you showing up for that event. Put Southwestern on the map. Now you got our eyes on Southwestern as far as filming some of the games this year, so we're very excited. Seth, give me a little bit of background of your sports history, playing basketball or other sports, and, with you being a senior, some of your goals this year.
Yeah. It's really always – I played sports like lacrosse and football when I was younger, but it's really just basketball stood out to me. And, like, my goals for this year, I think, is – I mean, I want to win. I want to win for sure. I mean, counties would be awesome, districts. But, I mean, I just kind of want to show, like, recognition for myself and my teammates because, I mean, our football team, I think, did a good job this year.
They did.
Putting on a show, and I think hopefully we can carry that into basketball season and keep it rolling.
Well, give me some feedback on some players that you have coming on the basketball team this year. I know you guys, Shallow Bivens graduated. I think he's with Penn State York now, if I'm not mistaken. Marywood, with Shallow Bivens graduating. Give me some feedback, of some players that you got coming up this year with the Southwestern Mustangs.
Yeah, we have a strong core. I think one of our guards, returning guard, Aiden Littleton, he's showed a lot of growth, I think, and I think he's going to be able to help us. Max Weisensail, shooter, quarterback for the football
punter
team.
as well for the
Very
team.
good punter. He's got a leg on him.
So he did, yes.
That's for sure. I just think we have a good core all around. We've been together for a long time, since third grade actually, and I think us being close will help us.
Yeah, and having that core, as you just said, since third grade, that 12th grade year is very special because it seems like sometimes like everything comes together that 12th grade year. I know you guys have some very, very high hopes. And how is it playing for the coach, which is your dad?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, there's sometimes like, I don't know, I hear from student sections. I mean, but overall I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I mean, he's my dad. I love him. Him having him in basketball, I think that's a great opportunity for us to become like stronger together. And I honestly think he's a good coach overall.
Yeah, that's a bond you can't shake, man. Like I said, from basketball coach, from the fatherhoods, father and child. And, your dad, Chris, he does a lot for us, to be honest with you. When we need something done, he goes beyond what he has to do to make sure that, we get involved or he gets Southwestern involved. So big shout out to your dad as well. So we're going to talk a little bit. I know you're a basketball player. We're going to talk a little bit about football. We wanted to hear your predictions for the games that's coming up. We have Dover
and Exeter Township.
Dover and Exeter. By the way, Exeter's undefeated.
Yeah. I mean, I know Dover's a York team, but I honestly think Exeter has that one in the bag. I mean, they're undefeated. They played us last year in districts. I mean, we only lost a touchdown, but they're a tough team for sure.
Absolutely. Dover played really tough last week. Me and Cisco had an opportunity to film that game. They had some big-time players. Eric Campbell did a great job. The quarterback, he has a big arm, big legs, as far as running the ball down the field. Thomas Smizer, big-time hitter. I don't know if you're familiar with Thomas Smizer. But we also have York Suburban
versus Mannheim Central.
Mannheim Central. Give me that pick.
I'm going to have to go with Mannheim Central on that one probably again. I did see York Suburban play this year. The running back's pretty good, I'll admit that, but I think Mannheim Central's got that in the bag as well.
Hey, that's no problem there. And we also have New Oxford
hosting Northern York Polar Bears.
Who
beat Southwestern last week by a point. It was 21-20.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, so it kind of hits home a little bit on that.
You got to pick this without your heart. Use your head.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Northern's got it. I'm not really a big New Oxford guy, kind of a rivalry there, but yeah, I think Northern will beat New Oxford this week.
Okay, and I'm sorry,
last but not least, the main event matchup tomorrow,
Central York
and Central York
versus York High. The part 2, they played against each other 2 weeks ago. Central York edged them out by 5 points, 43-38. Now it's part 2 on Central's field. Central has their quarterback back. It should be a different look. Who do you got?
Oh man, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good one in that. I think it's gonna go down probably the last couple of minutes. I think Central's got it though. I do.
Central York Panthers.
I do think Central's got it.
Hey, that's a good pick. And if you could, we have a chart over there. If you can go ahead and put your pick over there for the chart, and we'll look at that when we're all said and done. But guys, keep an eye on Seth Sager.
Mustang, Southwestern Mustang. And high school basketball starts in the month of December. Practices, tryouts are probably just a couple weeks away.
Well, November 18th, I believe, everything kicks off for basketball in the YIAA. And we're going to have a couple Southwestern games. Big time flyer. If you guys didn't see our Eli Brooks fundraiser event, go to YouTube, go check that out. You'll see Seth going up there, catching some dunks. Off the bounce, off the dribble, and a little bit of everything. He's fearless, man. I can tell he wants a lot this senior year. So keep an eye on Seth. Follow him on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever he's at. Southwestern football, Southwestern basketball, and all athletics over at Southwestern.
No doubt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, real quick, Seth, who's your favorite player in the NBA?
Right now? Ooh, I don't know. I like Tyler Hero.
Okay.
I do like Boy Wonder.
And favorite of all time?
Favorite all time? Jason Williams, White Chocolate.
Okay, all right, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
The passers, man. Passer, I love watching him pass.
And one other thing, before a game, what are some of your rituals? Who do you got on your playlist? Who you're listening to before the game to get you ready for the game?
Listening a lot of Rod Wave. I think that's something with me and Shiloh, who played with us last year, is all we bumped to in the locker room before.
That's that mood music.
Yeah, that's that mood. It just gets me in that zone for some reason. I don't know. It just works for me.
Absolutely, man. Well, yeah, hey, good luck this year, man. Thanks for coming down. Big shout out to your dad as well, man. Looking
Thanks,
forward
Seth.
to see you guys this year, man.
All the best. Yep, in your upcoming basketball season. And we could probably pull in some of the videographers. I mean, we have Cisco Soda on our panel.
We're going to pull in our photographers and videographers in just a second, but let's go ahead and talk to Buddy Walters, a pro-level sports agency.
Let's do it.
Buddy, if you don't mind coming over, please. And it's still a packed house here tonight down at the Gift Horse. We're having a really good time.
The show's live and on the air for a couple more minutes, right, dude? Hey, welcome. Welcome aboard.
How you doing?
Good to meet you. Good.
Sorry, and we're here with Buddy Walters, a pro-level sports agency. Sorry, I always say agency before sports.
Tell the viewers a little bit about what that consists of, buddy. Yeah, microphones coming from every angle.
So basically what Sports Level Sports Agency is, we founded it officially August the 1st of last year. We represent clients from the NFL, CFL, which Canadian Football League. We've got the XFL, which is coming up, and we're blessed to have 39 clients right now in the upcoming XFL draft. We represent clients in the USFL, which they just came off a successful season where they sent quite a few players to NFL camps. Right now we got 7 clients there, and that's not counting 52, I believe it is, playing indoor football between, leagues like, IFL, Champions Indoor Football, National Arena League, and, we got guys playing overseas, so we're blessed.
Yeah, you guys are also a phenomenal start. Like you said, you've only been in existence for 1 year, but I follow you guys on Facebook and also on Instagram, and I see you have at least over 100 guys signed already and getting those contracts and, playing football at that next level. Just give us, I know you want to work with Sports Shooting Stars moving forward, and you guys are one of our sponsors. What is it to you to get back to the community and have, youth and athletics out there for everyone to see?
Oh, absolutely. So, I grew up in York. Grew up in the city of York. 1994 graduate of York High. Proud okay. orange and blue Bearcat here. I'll be a Bearcat for life.
That's right.
We know who you're going to pick then tomorrow night's game, right? I mean,
heart not with the head.
A tie. I'm picking a tie. I'm playing a safe one.
You're a smart guy.
Yeah, but it's important to these youth don't have it as good as what we had it growing up. So, and any time adults, community leaders, organizations, have an opportunity to give back, especially to a community that helped raise them. It's extremely important. We're losing too many of our talented youth to the streets, drugs, gun violence. So, I think it's important for, community, to come together in any way they can, try to get these kids off the street, show them that, just because you were, born and raised in a city and, come from poverty. I've come from poverty, but, that doesn't define who I am, today. So their upbringing should not define who they are or who they want to be.
Absolutely.
So,
and what? There's not a lot of sports agencies in York or around this area. What made you want to come out with a sports agency? And what are some guys that's watching here tonight? How can they contact you or be a part of what you got going on? Because I know Coach Wade works with a lot of semi-pro teams, and you guys can maybe have that relationship if you don't already have it or anything like that. But how can a player get involved with your agency?
Yeah. So. They can go to our website www.prolevelagents.com, and you can reach out to us through that. But I have a great team behind me, great team of evaluators. One of our head scouts is a former Blesto scout for the NFL, which for those that don't know what Blesto is, it's a governing body for scouts for the NFL. So if they predict such and such may go in the third round or whatever, if you're listening to Mel Kiper or whoever draft day, most likely that information came from a Blesto scout. So our head scout is a former Blesto scout, but we're made up of a great team of men and women from all walks of life. Which is extremely important. It's wonderful, but there's opportunities out here. Just we've represented quite a few semi-pro guys and got them to the professional ranks. So again, don't let what you're doing define your future. If you got the hunger and the goal and determination, if you're willing to grind for it, you'll succeed.
Absolutely. You're one of our sponsors throughout the years. Really appreciate everything you've done for our program and reaching out and, getting the word out there. Now, if a player wanted to, be signed to your agency, is there an age limit or age where they have to start? They have to be a college graduate? They have to be 21, 22, 18? How's that start?
The farther you go in college, listen, if you got the opportunity to go to college and get that degree, go to college, get that degree. That's going to be your plan B. So, don't think I'm going to leave high school and go straight to pro. It's hard. It's not, it's not easy.
It's a process.
It's a huge process. So, and it doesn't matter if you're D1, D2, D3, NAIA, it doesn't matter. You went to college, you got that degree. If you got all C's in college, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, when you graduate, when you're walking across a stage, they don't know who got all A's, all B's, or all C's. You got that paper. Now, if you get injured playing professional sports, now you got something to fall back on. It's extremely important. But again, college, getting good film is important. I can't, and my staff can't promote you, to these teams if we don't got the film to back it up. So, we always say, stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
Right.
And, don't think, okay, well, the NFL didn't call, so I'm done. That's not the case. There's so many professional leagues out there. If you get paid to play football, you're a professional. You're a professional. Not everybody's going to make it to the NFL. Not everybody's going to have that, the highest echelon. So sometimes you got to cut your teeth, maybe start out semi-pro to, get film, get the experience, make your way to, indoor. We just had a kid that played indoor football that, we sent to the Colts for our workout, playing indoor football. He killed it as a rookie. And, went to Indy. Now, he didn't get signed, but that's something he can say, look, I killed it here. I didn't overlook. I trusted the process. And, the Indianapolis Colts, brought me in. And, before I came over here, he just got invited and signed to go to the NFL Alumni Academy, where, they sent over, 50% of their players onto the NFL so far. So, if you trust the process and believe in what we're telling you, we're going to get you where you need to be. But if you got that big chip on your shoulder, you may not get there.
Yeah, you got to have the right mindset. And you guys are doing a great job of providing opportunities for players to get to the next level. And look, and before we let you get out of here, buddy, give us a little feedback on how you like this event that we have here tonight. It's our first inaugural, live on location in downtown York at the Gift Horse. Give us a little feedback on how you feel about, this venue that we have here tonight.
3 G's. Okay, great location, great food, okay, and great weather. Yep. It's wonderful. You're down here in the heart of the city of York. It's beautiful.
Well, we thank you, buddy, for showing up here tonight.
No,
and like I
thanks,
said,
buddy.
if you haven't got a chance to get a smash burger, please get a smash burger and enjoy.
Already had it.
Already had it? Okay, great. Thanks a lot, buddy. We appreciate it.
Take care, Doc.
Yep.
And guys, we're going to go ahead and go to another break, and then we'll come back with the photographers and also the videographers as a part of the YEI curtain, the cloth of what's going on out here in the county.
Exactly. Sounds good. Stay tuned for more.
We'll be back in a few.
Dean's Auto Plaza. We sell trucks as a team. Life is a game of trucks, gentlemen, and the trucks people need are everywhere around us. When you add a free year of roadside assistance and a free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty with your truck purchase, it's gonna make a difference to that customer. And when you look at that customer, you'll know they love trucks as much as you. Now, what are you gonna do? Now you know what you need to do. Dean's Auto Plaza. We are Hanover's truck giant.
Suavemente, bésame.
Football is alive right here in York County. Get your popcorn ready. It's going down.
You already know what time it is, boys.
We're excited to be here, Coach. Watch you dudes ball out on Friday night.
Dial in right now.
Babe, touch out, rock about, babe. Tell them come through, tell them come do what they do, tell them come make the news.
So, tell me how it happened.
He seemed a little nervous. And then he got down on one knee. Then he said, I think it's time we get serious.
Then what?
Opened up a box, and it was everything I could have asked for.
The free year of roadside assistance?
And the free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty.
You mean?
He went to Dean's.
Woo!
They're so cute when they get their first truck.
Dean's Auto Plaza. We are Hanover's truck giant.
Back from downtown York at the Gift Horse Brewing Company in downtown York. Dude Jones, a whole panels here. We're joined by now by some videographers who are kind of behind the cameras, but now they're in front of the cameras. Cade Burnett, Brock Lane. Cade, your thoughts on tonight's festivities?
Oh, I love it. I think it's perfectly executed, and I mean,
Man, if you guys can do this a little more, I'd be glad to come out.
And again, Cade Burnett with Cade Visuals, like his Facebook page. Sitting to Cade's left, Brock Lane, your thoughts as well. Brock Lane Films here in the house. Your thoughts on tonight's festivities?
Awesome. It's a perfect night, beautiful night out, and it's cool. I've never been here before, so it's an awesome atmosphere and great for the community.
Cisco, you're a photographer. Any questions you have for these guys? You're kind of one of the same. You guys all do phenomenal work.
I see him every week. I see Brock. Brock's like, almost like we were joking before we came back on air. Brock's become like the third wheel here, like always. And I've seen like everywhere I go, every gym, Cade's there too. So we get to know each other very well. We all talk and share each other's work and everything. So it's a good experience.
And of course, tomorrow night you'll all be at Central. Your thought, what goes into tonight, especially tomorrow night with the weather? How's that going to play and maybe possibly affect UK? We'll go down the line first, UK.
Oh man, it's a lot of preparation. Camera bags, umbrellas, even towels. Sometimes I've used. Everybody has their preference, but man, it's good. It'll take a lot of preparation to get ready for tomorrow.
Now, is your equipment, can it get ruined in situations like that? Is it all weather equipment typically, or explain that to some of the fans that are maybe tuned in here?
Yeah, it could absolutely get ruined, but as long as we're prepared for the effects of tomorrow, we should be good to go.
Brock, your insight?
Not looking forward to the weather at all. I'm sure these guys can attest to that. I remember last year, I think I left at halftime during the Central and York High game because I was just getting blown around, and it's not fun. But if you push through it, it'll all work out. So hopefully, we can have a decent night as far as getting the footage. Because that's the other thing, your lens gets all fogged up, you get drops of rain on your lens, and then it just kind of ruins everything. So hopefully we can get some good shots and, just have a good time.
I'm sure between the three of you, you'll definitely get shots. Cisco, your thoughts, insight on tomorrow's game? Of course, from the weather perspective.
Yeah, from the weather perspective, just like he said, I remember last year we lost a lens or two just from condensation, and it was just, you come back, you try to dry your bags out and everything else, and that was one of the first times we were really outside with like the pouring rain like that, and just not a good experience. So like you said, just definitely not looking forward to it at all if that's what we get tomorrow. So
well, now I'm going to kind of put you guys on the spot. Prediction time. We'll start first, Cade, with you. The big matchup, York High at Central. A prediction from you tomorrow night's game.
First and foremost, I want to say all love to the York High guys. I am a Central alum, so I think the narrative is that I'm a Central guy, but I do have to predict Central. They've won the last 4, so but I'd love to see York High maybe put an end to that, but we'll see.
Brock, go ahead. What say you?
You guys obviously know my prediction. I'm going with York. Got to multiply by 8 because York High goes for 2. So I'm going to say 48-35.
And want to remind the viewers that are tuned in, Brock Lane Films, you do mostly all the York High games, home and away, correct?
Yeah, yep. I've been following them for the past 6 years, and it's been an amazing journey seeing 3, not 1, but 3 all-time rushing records being broken. You had Dorsey, DeJour, and then now seeing Florida, Jaheim White. It was awesome. I got to see him from start to finish, freshman to senior year. So, it's just been nothing but content coming out of York High this past couple of years, and I've been grateful to be a part of it.
Yep. And Cisco, prediction time. We're going to kind of put you on the spot. Do you have a prediction for tomorrow?
It's not on the spot. I'm a Bearcat for life, so no matter what the situation, it's going to be York High all day. So
Bearcats.
2-1. Yeah.
Now, fans that are tuned in, where can they reach out to you if they're interested in maybe hiring you to do some work? Cade, we'll start off with you.
Primarily Instagram at Cade.visuals, Facebook, Twitter. I don't usually use Twitter that much, but Facebook or Instagram. Those are my main 2. But yeah, just hit me up there.
Brock, where can they reach out to you if they're interested?
All my social media is Brock Lane Films, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Check me out on there, and you can message me on Instagram. And, check me out.
And Cisco, where can they reach you?
All socials are Cisco Soto, and, of course, Washington Winona Images.
And for the fans that's watching tonight, watching our live broadcast, if you see some of the visuals that's happening, that's from Cade Visuals. He provided us with 3 visuals for tonight's broadcast. So, big shout out to Cade, big shout out to Cisco, of course, Brock. These guys follow York High big time. You follow Central big time. But it's bigger than that. These guys are expanding their ways to different places. I see Cade on the road all over the place, man. I know he's putting a lot of miles on his car, man. So, but he's getting his name out there. You guys are doing a great job, and we definitely want to recognize you guys because the student athletes really appreciate what you guys do. I know they're very excited when they see you, and now you're on pretty much a first name basis with these kids, man. And I think that's phenomenal. And we're just happy to work with you, partner with you in any way. And like I said, keep an eye out for these guys, man. They're always going to be around, always going to showcase the kids, and they're doing a lot for the community. So really appreciate.
We thank them for coming
Brock,
out.
Cade,
Brock,
Cisco.
Cisco, all here tonight. You'll see them tomorrow at Central for the big matchup between York High and Central. Thanks for joining us tonight, gentlemen, on the panel.
Yes. And we have one more interview we're going to do, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the game, and then we're going to wrap up for tonight. But we want to go ahead and talk to Ali Johnson. But I think Ali just walked away.
He's probably trying some of the food.
Maximus.
He's probably trying some of the food here, maybe.
Yeah.
Gift Horse Brew. Here comes Ali Johnson. No
Ali, you can sit
stranger
right
to the
here if
area.
you don't
Come on
mind.
in here. Do go ahead.
Ali Johnson, York High legend. We already know about Ali a lot, what he does in the community with Maximus and things like that. Ali, we want to thank you for coming here tonight, man. Like I said, we reached out to you, one of my neighbors from back in the day. Ali, you've been involved in sports for a long time. Can you give the fans, unless they've been living underneath a rock that don't know who you are, let's give the fans a little bit about yourself, man.
York City, born and raised. Went to McKinley and the Penn, York High. I started off at South York, then I went up to York High.
Legendary career at South York. You know that. You got to put it out there, man. Legendary career at South York, number 28. We all know about it.
I'll let them speak on that. Went to college, IUP, Millersville, played for the Parma, semi-pro team in Harrisburg for 6 years.
Just the feedback on that. You also played with Emico, right? Y'all was a tag team back. Oh, that was crazy.
Bro, you can't name a better backfield. You can't name a better backfield.
Yeah, so you said Piranhas, and I just thought Emico right from the door, man. You guys had a great career over there. How many years did you play for the Piranhas?
6 years. 6 years. I think 5 or 4 with him. Yeah, it was something. 6 years though. But yeah, shout out to the E-Train, yo. He's my role model growing up. He came back to York one time and said, "You should come up here and play with us." Even though we played the same position, it was no animosity, nothing. We just fed off each other, man.
Yeah, Emico's a very positive guy, man. He does a great job with his kids. Like I said, as far as being a coach, being involved, and just being a positive person, man. You guys have a lot of similarities like that, man. So that's a big plus. Can you give us a little feedback, about your program, Maximus, and where you're located at, on what you guys offer at your facility?
Okay. My name is Ali Johnson, owner and lead mind and body transformer of Maximus Performance and Fitness. We're located at 209 Arch Street, right up front of Revolution Stadium. We offer personal training, group training, sports-specific skills enhancement, mind and body enhancement. We also have a female trainer named Aliana's there. My son works there. He's like, if it wasn't for me, I think he would be the best around.
Good plug. I like
yeah,
good plug.
But we train. We start at 4. Our youngest client is 4. We go way up to 80. So, stretching, whatever you want, enhancement. You want to eat smart, supplements, everything. We cover everything.
So you do the nutrition, everything that comes along. Coach Way, now you know Ali for X amount of years. We ain't going to talk about our age right now. We're a little older now. We ain't going to talk about our age. But you know Ali for a long time. Any questions you want to ask him or anything that you want to let the fans know about Ali Johnson?
First off, we all grew up in the same neighborhood. We all Bands Park kids over here.
A block away from each other, all three of us. Yeah, absolutely.
And, I've known Ali since we were kids. When I first moved back from Virginia, I remember the very first day we got here, he got out the car. It was me and my son. And he was like, "Hey, I need to get my hands on the young boy out there." And I took him to him. I let him have him. And he told me that day on Penn Park, he like, "If you let me get him, I promise you he's going to be player of the year." And 3 years later, my son was player of the year. He made All-State 2 times. He went, got a scholarship. He went to Kutztown. And now he has my grandson. He has my son's son. So it's just generational here. We gonna keep that thing rolling.
Absolutely. And Ali, we're going to get right into it, man. There's a big game tomorrow. As you know, we're filming a game, Central York versus York High. The first game happened 2 weeks ago, season finale, regular season finale. York High, lost by 5 points. A very close game. Joel's Joel's Golf had 36 carries, pretty much put the team on his back for that particular game. And you know what we said coming into this, into this broadcast, it's a running backs league this year with Jaheim White, Joel's Golf, Mikey Benavega, Anthony Torres, and things like that. So it's been you know the running back position like the back of your hand. We want to know what's your game predictions between Central York and York High, and what you think they need to do for adjustments to win that game.
Ooh, on the spot.
Man, yeah, it's a tough one. Oh man, I think they both need to hit the, pound the ground game. I know Central with those two-headed monsters, Joel's and my man, I forget his name, but
Johnny Walker?
Yeah, Johnny,
Okay,
Johnny and Joel's, man, that tandem right there. And
something else.
Yeah, behind White, I think Joel's is probably the second best back in the league, which I think he's going to take over next year. So he's going big time too. On White, I trained him. I see the dog in him. You just feed him. You just feed White and feed Joel. It's going to be an exciting game. If you want to see a running game, guys, and a great coaching staff going head-to-head, it's going to be Friday night is the night.
I think you hit it on the nose, man. We were saying that earlier. The first game, I think Florida only got about 9 to 10 touches in the first half, and then he went crazy in the second half, but more touches. But this is one of them type of games. You don't have to be flashy. You know who you got. Give them the ball, right? Let them do what they do. Let your front line push them back and get them yardage. And like I said, but you kind of avoid the question, man. Who's going to win the game tomorrow between Central York and York High, bro? We need to hear it first, man. Say it with your mind, not your heart.
Hey, listen, in my, I bleed orange and blue, but I was with Central last year. I know the coaching staff, I know the kids, and I know Coach Y and Ches. They're going to put it together. So I'm gonna go with Central.
Okay. Last question: are you going to be at the game, or are you going to be watching the game on Sports Shooting Stars? Which one is it?
It depends on how it feels outside. If it's nice like this, I'm at the game. But if not, I'm with you, watching on Shooting Stars.
All right, we really appreciate that, Ali, man. It's always great to see you, man. Like Coach Wade said, man, we literally all three of us grew up within 10 seconds of each other. I can see his house from my window, and I can walk 5 steps up and see his house. So, it's really a blessing, 30 years later to have these guys still around, still have the opportunity to talk to them, and, and we're all involved in sports in some way, fashion, or form, and, it's a blessing. And, really appreciate you, Ali, being here tonight and just showing up, man.
Yeah, I want to thank you for having this, This right here is something we didn't have when we was growing up. This is something special right here. So to see you doing it year after year and getting bigger, and connected with my man Mick and the gift horse, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Absolutely. If you haven't had a smash burger, or you want something over there, it's on us. Because one of our invitees. So if you want something over there, a drink or something like that, let us know. And have a great night, man. We'll speak to you soon.
Any pescatarian food here?
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure.
Are you saying salad?
Yeah,
vegetarian?
I think so.
That's what you're looking for, huh?
Yeah, because this guy still has like a 12-pack. So
I know.
It's crazy, man. It's ridiculous. But big shout out to Ali, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, Ali. Oh, appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you. Good job, Coach. Thank you.
Ali Johnson, a guest here.
And I just see my good friend. Let's get Darren Bonaquista in here, one of our sponsors for
Darren,
Dallas.
come on in here. We would
Dallas
be remiss in not mentioning
Pizza.
another sponsor. Yeah, pizza's so great you'll scrape the plate, right there. Darren Bonaquista from Parma's Pizza. Welcome aboard. Your thoughts about this event tonight and Sports Shooting Stars?
Hey, this was incredible. You brought kids from all over the county. It wasn't just the superstar kids. You had a great group of kids here who got a really good exposure, and I think what you guys do is incredible for the county anyway. So tonight was great. I hope you continue to do this next year. This was really fun.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it, Darren. Like I said, throughout the last couple of years, everything you do for the community, we can't express that enough, man. You're a guy behind the scenes. You're the first one in the door at your pizza shop. You do a lot of things there, man. And, like I said, for Dallastown and just the YIAA, you do a lot for the community, a lot for us as well. And, just tell us what do you get out of giving back to the community and, being a part of sports? What has it done for you in your life? And also your son, Blake. I know Blake's big time into sports and things like that. So just give us some feedback about, what sports have done for you and the feeling you get by giving back to the community.
Yeah. For me, being a part of the community was everything. I grew up outside of Philly, the city of Chester, Parkside, and my dad ran all the youth organizations back there for us when we were playing baseball, football, And you know, we had kids that couldn't afford to play, and the parents found a way to get them in the organization and do it. And that was really important for me to continue that when I moved up here. Coached high school football at Central York, Kennerdale, coached at Thaddeus Stevens Junior College, and that was all great, but I really liked being in the youth program. To be able to give back to the kids. And then with the pizza shop, I wanted to be something different than just a business. I wanted to be part of the community. And you know, we did 6,000 free lunches during COVID. We do our giving tree every year. We're doing our second annual this year. Anybody that's out there, you're gonna have Thanksgiving. If you have to have Thanksgiving by yourself or you don't have family in the area, stop over at Parma. We're doing a free Thanksgiving dinner. Right now I'm up to 20 turkeys that we're cooking and carving. So, you know, we're gonna try to have as much food as possibly we can to feed as many people. Last year we had 300 people come in the door. I just love giving back to the community. And you know, my oldest son is Blake. He's special needs. My younger son works for me at the shop. And to give back to people is just it's a special thing to be able to do. I'm very fortunate to have the things I have, and giving back gives me peace and in my mind and sets me right with the Lord. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you're a very genuine person, man. It's authentic. If you guys haven't been to Parma's Pizza of Dallastown, please go. You go inside. I mean, like, you have a really good, nice setup. The atmosphere is really nice. Todd, as you know, you're a Dallastown guy, so you're right down the street from Parma.
What do you recommend? I mean, viewers that are tuned in, maybe thinking about maybe ordering something, what do you recommend to that viewer tonight that's hungry?
Hey, look, Kyle, if you're watching, I'm sorry, pretzel dough. Our pretzel strombolis are the best around. We make our pretzel dough 2-3 times a week right in-house. And our stuffed pizzas. We're known for our stuffed pizzas and our strombolis. But, you know, honestly, we get our rolls out of Philly. That was important for me. I want to have the cheesesteak is authentic. Like I said, growing up outside of Philly, it's got to be authentic. So I look at all of our food is really good, but the pretzel dough is incredible.
There you go. Darren Bonaquiste right here from Parma's Pizza. I mentioned it earlier. Pizza's so great, you'll scrape your plate. How about it?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Darren.
A big sponsor.
We really appreciate you
appreciate
guys.
him coming out.
You'll see more
Thanks,
Darren this year.
Coming out.
He gives out free pieces as a player of the game to our player of the games. He does a lot for the community. You'll continue to see Darren do our Sports Shooting Stars broadcast, you know, throughout the next couple of years, and also the upcoming basketball season. So, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
big shout out.
I would be remiss in not asking your prediction for tomorrow's game. Before you leave here, big prediction. York High at center.
I'm a Russ fan. I love what he does with the kids there, but I coached at Central for 6 years. My gut tells me Central wins by 14.
Okay.
14,
all right. Well, we gotta mark that down. Well, we have a sheet over there. You can mark it down.
Jaheim, I'm sorry. Florida I think is the best player in the county, bar none.
Bar none.
I think he's going to have an incredible game, but I just my gut feeling.
Absolutely. Like I said, we hate to see one team go away because both those teams have had great years so far this year and have some star players on both sides. As we said, you know, Jaheim White, he's going to be playing for West Virginia next year, so we'll see him Saturday afternoons.
Well, he'll be
playing
enrolling
football.
early at West Virginia, starting the spring semester in January.
Absolutely,
So,
and then Joel's Golf is getting some D1 offers from Duke and some other places. Old
Boston
Dominion.
College,
Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Old Dominion.
And
Big
that's
time
just,
players.
I think, the start of what we'll see with Joel's Golf. I mean, he's just a junior.
Yeah, he's going to be getting all kinds. That kid is different, and he is special. So he's only a junior. Yeah. So
He'll be
just
that.
imagine what next year is going to be.
He'll be the player to watch next year.
As we said, this year was the year of running backs, pretty much in the YIAA. So big shout out to all those guys. And behind us, we have some Central.
Speaking of
Central York affiliates, and as you can see with their jackets on and things like that.
They're not.
Come on up here, guys.
allegiance.
You can
Thanks,
take a
Darren,
seat if
for
you don't mind. You can take
Come
a
on
seat
in.
here. Take a seat, Todd.
They're not hiding their allegiance. How about it? Two Central York Panther
doubt.
fans here in the house. Todd Sukanik, Marvin Parker, welcome aboard. Your thoughts on tonight's festivities?
This is great. Great event. A lot of people came out, but I wanted to come out and definitely support. Probably should do this more often, but what a great night. What a great atmosphere. It was great. Great.
Glad to have you out here. Marvin, your thoughts tonight?
You know, it's always great to see you gentlemen. I think, you know, first and foremost, we're all college football fans. This is a college, high school game day approach that we have here. I was excited when I first heard about it, for everything from the mascot heads here to you gentlemen sharply dressed, looking nice tonight. You know, great food, great beverages, great company. There it is. So, hey, there's nothing better.
Absolutely. We really appreciate you guys coming out. And not only are these guys affiliated as coaches and doing the things like that, these guys are great fathers. I have to say that first and foremost. They have some student athlete kids that do a lot of things. Your daughter, Todd, she has 9 jobs. She's doing 20 different things. She's in college, Boston College right now. Like I said, your son, Saxon Sukanik, cornerback for Central York, playing as a sophomore starting, and also made second team or first team? First team. Okay, I'm sorry. It was a long list of guys, but there's a lot of Central York players. So, big shout out to, everything you did for the kids. And, just talk about, being a father and also being a coach and, everything that comes along with, being a part of the program.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate it. Yes, as far as youth, that's where it all starts. I volunteered coaching, being on the board for Junior Panthers. It's Central's a family, but yes, it's one of the things that we try to do as coaches, and it goes into being a father too as well. We definitely want to. We definitely try to be role models and good role models for our kids and for all the kids too as well. So
absolutely. And you've been a coach now for how many years with Central York? The youth.
Junior Panthers. They've been in existence now for the last 6 years, and then prior to that, I coached too as well for Yorktown Patriots too as well. So once we became the feeder program for Central York, I got on board. I'm president of Central York Junior Panthers now for the last several years, 4 years, and been a coach now for. Oh gosh, it's probably been about 12 years, so showing my age a little bit.
Hey man, you're showing a lot of dedication and commitment to the kids, man, and I think that's very important. As you can see, you're dressed in full school spirit right now, man. So we get that. And also Marvin, you do a great job. Like I said, both you guys as fathers, raising kids. Your daughter's now graduating this year, and also your son Matthew Parker has been a freshman kicker for Central York since last year. Sure. Only a sophomore this year, putting up some big time points. He also made the first team for kicking for the YIAA All Stars. Big shout out to your kids. You want to give them a shout out on what they're doing right now, your daughter and your son.
Thank you very much. First, I'd like to just state thank you for that. That was very kind, as Todd stated as well. We're here to talk about football, so I'll strictly stay on football. But I will say, shout out to my daughter. We just got word that she made first team All YAIAA for soccer.
Congratulations.
She, was just awarded last night as the second leading scorer in school history for soccer. So, to say
that's a major accomplishment. I have to say, second leading scorer in school history. That's a major accomplishment.
Yes, it is. And I'm not saying that in a prideful way, but, as a father, we are prideful for our kids. And as Todd stated earlier, we just love the community. The reason why we're here is because we like to support you all. We like to support the kids, student athletes. We support the coaches, the administration. We're through and through. Todd and I, when we put this on, it represents more than just the school. It represents the neighborhood. It represents the kids down the street that we don't know. We like to be good role models and good representatives for them. So when we come out here and we show folks that we're able to support and do whatever is necessary to continue and make sure that they are striving and doing well in school, but not only well in school, but they do well on the field as well. And when they're not doing well on the field, as coaches, as parents, as friends, we pick them up. So I appreciate hearing you guys' voices. Like I told you before, I said even during the pandemic, hearing your voice and hearing Todd's voice was a breath of fresh air because we were unable to watch those games in person. So just seeing you guys, it was almost like ESPN was right here in York County. So we definitely appreciate you all. And I know you guys will do whatever is necessary to bring the sports to us. So we definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. And you also got a new position with the PIAA. Can we talk a little bit about that, your new position with the PIAA? And as you said, I think the first African-American. Give me some more details about that. I want to misquote.
I saw his picture.
I don't want to misquote.
Free guide that I posted over the week.
Marvin's doing some big things, man. So give us some feedback about that.
So I'll tell you, that's what have been told. I don't know all the history books from District 3 PIAA, but yes, I was told that I am the first African American representative for PIAA District 3, which is great for me. Great for my family, great for my friends. Just great for the black community. There's not often times where we are able to be put in positions to, represent ourselves and our families and our community, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to let anyone down. I'll do whatever is necessary to, of course, bring my feedback, my perspective, my personal perspective. And, I think that diversity is always something that is very conducive to a good environment. And we're striving with that. So, I'm going to say, hey, I am not a pioneer by any means, but I will do what's necessary to lead the way. In addition, I'm the parent rep, male parent rep for PIAA District 3, which means I represent all the parents and students within District 3. In addition, if there's any parents that have any concerns, they can always bring their concerns to me. I am the liaison between those parents, every youth organization, whether it's Junior Panthers, whether it's CYBO, whether it's Dallastown, Red Lion, Eastern. I am the parent rep for those folks. So if there's anything they need from me, I will be that voice for them to take it to the committee.
Well, absolutely. You guys, both of you guys are trailblazers, man. You guys are doing a great job. Like I said, we really appreciate you coming down here to support our program and just all the kind words and encouragement that you guys do give us throughout the year. For the last couple years, as far as being a part of Sports Shooting Stars, you guys are kind of like our unofficial partners, to be honest with you, man. And we really appreciate that. We saw you guys here. Definitely want to talk to you because you got a lot to give to the community and what you're doing, so we really appreciate it. I'm not going to ask you who you think is going to win on Friday because I can tell a little bit.
Player of the game.
I can tell a little bit who you're going for. So
put me on the spot here.
Yeah, I know who you're going to.
Player of the game.
Player of the game. I'm going to say Joel's Golf.
Joel's Golf. What say you, Mark?
I don't want to steal my
Matthew Parker.
Game-winning field goal tomorrow, right?
So
right
I
through
will
the
tell you
uprights.
this, and I know this is going to be a very cliche thing to say, but we win as a team, we lose as a team. So the MVP of the game will be Central York Panthers, period.
And just to add on that, that's one reason why we don't give away player of the game shirts and stuff like that during the playoffs, because we know it's one goal, and that's to get to the to the district championship. So as you said, we support that sentiment that you said as far as not giving a guy a particular game shirt or something like that. But I know you guys will both going for Central. Rain, sleet, shine, you guys are going to be out there tomorrow. We will be there as well. It's going to be a big game. Like I said, it's going to be on the big screen, projection screen that you can see back here tonight. So, again, thanks guys for showing up.
Thanks for coming out. I want to add what Marvin said, that you guys are definitely doing a great thing here for the community. I mean, it really is. I mean, what you guys do, the platform that you guys give these kids, that's really what it's all about, is outstanding. So you guys are doing an outstanding job. Keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations on everything you guys are doing. And tonight was awesome. It was really good.
So. We appreciate it. It's our first time.
Thank you for the support. Oh,
it's our first time, but you really appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, guys.
Talk to you soon.
All the best. Good luck tomorrow night. Yep, we'll be there. Yep.
Thank you. Hey, we're going to go to one more clip after this, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. Check this out, and we'll be back, and we'll be wrapping up for the night.
At Dean's Auto Plaza, we sell trucks as a team. Life is a game of trucks, gentlemen, and the trucks people need are everywhere around us. When you add a free year of roadside assistance and a free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty with your truck purchase, it's gonna make a difference to that customer. And when you look at that customer, you'll know they love trucks as much as you. Now, what are you gonna do? Now you know what you need to do. Dean's Auto Plaza, we are Hanover's truck giant.
Suavemente bésame.
Football is alive right here in York County. Get your popcorn ready. It's going down.
You already know what time it is, boys. We're excited to be here, Coach. Watch you dudes ball out on Friday night. Dial in right now.
Roll it 10 plus 8, touch out, rock about baby. Tell them come through, tell them come do what they do. Tell them come make the news.
So, tell me how it happened.
He seemed a little nervous. And then he got down on one knee. Then he said, I think it's time we get serious.
Then what?
Opened up a box, and it was everything I could have asked for.
The free year of roadside assistance?
And the free 6-month, 7,500-mile powertrain warranty.
You mean?
He went to Dean's.
Woo!
They're so cute when they get their first truck.
Dean's Auto Plaza. We are Hanover's truck giant.
We're back on air right now.
We're back from downtown York at Gift Horse Brewing, downtown York. How about it?
Yeah.
We're back. It's Todd Edwards with our panel here from downtown York at Gift Horse Brewing. Again, we want to thank them for hosting us tonight. A big night. We're joined by another guest as we are in our closing segment today.
Absolutely. It was a great night here tonight. Like I said, a lot of festivities, a lot of balloons are up, a lot of blue and yellow, orange and black. We even had the old York High mascot head, as you guys can see right there. We have our cornhole out. We have our cutout as well. And, of course, we have our videographer, Belinda Morales.
They don't often see her.
She's
always behind the camera, but tonight, again, she's in front of the camera. Do take it away.
Well, she's our unsung hero. I think she's a crucial part of our program and our broadcast for the last 6 years. Since 2017, I think we filmed over probably 200 games, and she's been behind the camera at least on 195 of them, providing footage. And she didn't grow up like, filming games or even being into sports, but she does a great job of, of being everything that we need for her when she comes to the games. But she's the one behind the screen and making sure all the videos being caught, all the touchdowns and the instant replays and things like that. Belinda's doing a great job of helping us out throughout the year.
We thank her for her support tonight, and we won't put her on the spot in terms of a prediction, will we?
No predictions, but we want to ask her, what's some of the best times you have filming a game, and what's some things that you don't like about the game? We know it gets a little cold out there, so.
All right, so some of the good times that we have is that I know when times get real crazy, we lose signal or whatever. It's just, I like how everybody gets together and works it out. So I really appreciate those times. And of course, it does rain, it does get crazy out there, but honestly, it's an exciting part of the job. So I definitely appreciate it. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, she does. Like I say again, as far as prep, getting a lot of things together for the game. She's really the backbone for me, for Todd, and for everybody that's involved in Sports Shooting Stars. She does a lot behind the scenes. She's always there. She works a full-time job at Essential Salon and Spa, located at
1319 Montrose Avenue. We're right across the street from the Sunoco gas station. Full-service salon, nails, hair, extensions, all the above. So we're there. I'm there full-time, but then as soon as I get out of there, we go straight to these high school game days.
Yeah, and as we said before, all of us have full-time jobs. So, this is a full-time gig, to be honest with you, following sports. As you know, Cisco, also Coach Way. But, these people on the panel right now, these 5 people on the panel, they do a great job of, stopping what they're doing and making time for the kids, making time for sports, and giving the great product out there. We really appreciate it. I personally appreciate everything you do, Todd.
Thank you.
Cisco, you being at all the games, and Coach Way for 35 years of just being in the game and just, just providing all that knowledge to the kids, you know what I'm saying, and also the adults that you coach as well. We want to give a big shout out to all you guys.
And let's give a shout out also to our producer on site tonight, Cliff Kern. Behind the camera.
Yes, sir.
Does an excellent job. He's here with us live tonight. making sure the show goes off without a hitch tonight here from Gift Horse Brewing.
And this was only supposed to be about a 90-minute event, an hour and a half, but it went about 2.5 hours, you know. But we had a great time. It went right along.
When you're having fun, yeah, time flies.
Had a great time. And like I said, if you guys haven't been to the Gift Horse Brewing Company, downtown York, located at 117 North George Street, come down and check it out. It's an open lot. It's on the corner, right across the street from the courthouse.
It's a can't miss.
Can't miss.
At a quarter to the historic Strand Capitol.
Across the street from Tony's, a Pell Center, and you also got, you know, Rockfish Public House. It's a great location. We will be back here, and plus, expect to see sports shooting stars at different locations, different venues, live on location. You know, doing these type of events and showcases. And you know, before we get up out of here, Coach, did you give us a game prediction?
I think he's the only one that has not.
I have not given a game prediction. I was actually trying to avoid that.
We're putting you on the spot now, Coach.
I mean, I'm Bearcat alumni, so you know I'm York High all day. But if I take out that, my football sense, I would have to go with Central.
Okay, so York High is somewhat coming in as an underdog, you know, from what I heard so far. So that gives them even more fight to come into the game, you know, and come out with a big-time victory.
I mean, it does. It does. I mean, they are coming in as an underdog. But like I said, as a football coach, in what I've seen Central be able to do in that first game, and then you add that the starting quarterback is coming back for this one. I mean, it's not impossible. York High could very well win, but just adding Nas back into it, I don't know. I'm going to have to go with Central.
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, we can't wait. Tomorrow kickoff starts. Our coverage starts at 6:45. Rain, sleet, snow, shine.
We'll be there.
We will be there. It's going to be a great game located at Central York High School Stadium. We'll be at their field.
Yes.
Should be an awesome game.
And if you can't make it out, again, we want to emphasize, tune in to Sports Shooting Stars tonight, or tomorrow night, excuse me, as
tomorrow
we
night.
bring the game to you. Coverage starts at 6:45, kickoff slated for 7 p.m. Rain or shine, we'll be there
Rain or
tomorrow.
shine, and really appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Thanks a lot. Live on location at the Gift Horse Brewing Company, and we're going to sign off. Dew Jones.
Todd Edwards.
It's Coach Way.
Soto. Oh, let me cut off Coach Way. I'm sorry.
And again, a big shout out to Gift Horse Brewing tonight.